So you want to be a realtor. Let's discuss how much that might cost you. So I am only a real estate agent in Pennsylvania. I think all 50 states are relatively the same, though I've never heard of anything that's crazy expensive or even cheaper than what we have. The entry level to be a realtor on cost is very, very low, to be honest with you. So let's discuss what it might cost, start to finish. Then once you get your brokerage, what that actual carrying cost will look like. So you know if this is a viable answer to your next job opportunity or business owner opportunity. All right. To become a real estate agent in Pennsylvania, expect to pay roughly $500 to $800 encompassing pre-licensing, education, exam fees, and application costs. The reason why that varies is that there are different test prep sites, there are different schooling options. There's a lot of different options you have out there with different pricing. So the first thing you want to do if you decide to be a realtor is you have to take schooling. There is 75 hours of pre-licensing you do have to take. I use BCE Shop. I use this to get my lending license as well. I do have a discount code I will put in the comments for you if you guys do want to use it. Now, as you can see here, there are 4 different packages here. I got to tell you, I've told everybody, just use the standard package. Just comes with the test at the end. I've had somebody get their test prep stuff like here on the end with some of their preparation stuff, and they said they didn't enjoy it. Again, do your research. It's up to you. I'm going to give you a promo code on the next one too, but this is the standard package that I typically tell people to do. It's $366.75. This is a write-off too, just so you know. This is now putting money into your self-employed business. So this is actually a write-off buying schooling and testing for your licensure. Okay. Again, this one's at $366.75. They can do this schooling in person. I did my schooling in person. You can also do hybrid, which is like you go in a couple days a week and you do the rest online, or there's full online. My wife did full online. They're both effective. It's just what your learning style is and what your time actually affords you. So let's go to the next one here. Yeah. So test prep, when I did my schooling 10 plus years ago, I had this book about that thick. And in the back, there was a practice test. And I took that thing over and over and over again. I wish I had something online as easy as this. And this is backed with AI intelligence and such. It's a really powerful, really easy, really slick, easy to use. And it's real cheap. You get $20 for a week. I will tell people, wait till you get about halfway through your schooling, if not even towards the latter part of your schooling, because you want to get your schooling out of the way before you start on this test, get your mindset on the testing of it, okay? Just learn the information, and then you want to go into test mode. The real estate test is really a lot about learning how to take a test and learning the answers that they want from you, okay? And then after that, half of this stuff, honestly, you don't use in your real estate career. You've learned a lot of this stuff. I find these very important. Again, wait till about halfway through. There's a free, as you can see, there's a free trial on this thing, but again, it's like $20 a week to throw it on. It'll save you in the future. State and national tests. So once you're done with your schooling, you've done your 75 hours, and then you've now, it's ready to take your test. So you've passed, at the end of your 75 hours of schooling, there is an end test on whatever schooling you take. Once you get that certification saying that you've passed, you've completed your 75 hours of schooling, you have to input that to the site showing that you have done your schooling. And then the real estate salesperson exams cost $49 for the state and national sections. It's a 2-part exam, 120 questions. PA specific section is comprised of 40 questions. In my experience in the realtors that I've brought along, this the PA specific, the state section is the one that they've failed. And the reason why is because there's only 40 questions. So if you miss a few questions on there, it adds up to a lot more than what you would expect. You are given an hour to complete that. The testing center does make you a little nervous when you walk in. You got to take everything out of your pocket, phones, jewelry, everything, put them in a locker and lock it. And then you go into an actual monitored room with nothing but a pencil and paper where they basically just watch you work. And so they make sure there's no cheating or anything like that going on. So that's what the premises of the testing site. There's only a couple. You have to do these in person. I know there's one like in my area, there's 2 or 3, but none of them are like in my city. You have to drive down to like bigger cities for these. If you do say you fail the state and pass the national, when you do go back, you only have to take the national. You do not have to take the portion that you've passed over again. If you do fail the test and you do need to retake it, there is a $50 fee every single time you take it. So paying $20 for a test prep site might save you in the long run, right? You are able to take this unlimited times. I believe after the 3rd one, there's a little bit of a waiting period for you to kind of refresh your knowledge and then retake it. But again, you can take this as much as you want. Like I said, the barrier to become a real estate agent is usually kind of low. We'll go into that here in a minute. Again, you do have to pay the exam for each time you take it. I passed mine on my first time, not gloating, but I want to make you feel better that I do know somebody that has a master's that failed the state exam 2 or 3 times on it. So do not, it's about learning how to take this test. All right, after the test, if you've gone in, they usually let you know right when you click on that last thing, at least the office that I went into, it says you've passed, and you get all pumped. You walk out of there and you're calling everybody, telling, hey, I just passed my test. The next thing you have to do is actually you have to figure out which brokerage you're going to go with and get a sponsorship brokerage. Pros and cons to all of them, so do your research. But the application fee is $107. It includes a $72 license fee, the $25 application fee, and then a $10 real estate recovery fund. All realtors pay into this in case there are errors on the realtors, that there is a fund to dip into. There is a fingerprint fee and a background check. I don't remember what I paid on my background check, but I know it was like under 50 bucks, probably 40 bucks or something. $22 for fingerprinting. It just depends where you go on those, but you have to, again, now that you have your schooling done, you have your final test taken, now you have to send that into the state to apply for the license. Now, I will tell you, sometimes this takes about a month, 2 to 3 weeks. It depends, but the state, this is one of the longest parts of getting your license, taking all the schooling and then waiting on the. All right. So after, I went too far. All right. So after you've got your license back, they actually send that to your broker. But I wanted to go over the fees you have that are kind of with your brokerage as far as carrying costs as well after you've got that. Because again, you haven't paid much to get in there. So I want to explain that there is another hurdle now. So once you pass your license, you do need a broker to sponsor you. Again, go interview a ton of brokerages, see which one works for your lifestyle. There's no one that's better than the other. Some require like a joining fee, a start-on fee. Some require monthly fees that you have to pay every month on the 15th or whatever. Some of those fees do include, so there's an MLS fee to be part of my local MLS, multi-listing service, so I can see all the houses, read all the agent notes, and input my own listings. That's $50 a month. Now, sometimes it's just not one universal MLS. So I am in like Butler County. Erie is right above me, and their MLS comes down a good bit, right? So I really, if I wanted to sell up there, I'd have to pay a second fee to have 2 MLSs going. You can have as many MLSs as you're going as long as you're part of their board there. But again, some people do have to be part of 2 or 3 different MLSs. I'm only in the one. I pay $51 a month. So also there's a super e-key. This is pretty universal. It's a phone app you pay $15 a month for, and it actually transfers the data with the electronic lockbox so that you have permission to open it, put in your own code, it clicks open, and it's a membership services. So these, no matter where you're at, you're going to pay $50 a month and $15 a month. Now, where I was going with that is sometimes these desk fees, they'll charge you. Some agencies don't charge you anything a month. It's $0 a month just to be there. Some are $500, $600 a month to be there. Some include these $50 and $15 fees in their monthly fees. Some do not. So again, do your research. You will have to join a local Realtor board. I am in RAMP, which is the Realtors Association of Metropolitan Pittsburgh. And I believe I pay around $467 a year. So you will have to pay these every single year to be on the board as part of National Association of Realtors and our MLS. They require us, and your brokerage typically will require you to join a Realtor. Oops, sorry about that. All right. So, and then also you have your errors and omissions insurance. This is usually around $600. I've paid up to $750 at another brokerage. It depends. Sometimes they'll let you pay that like $250. Sometimes they want it all at once, and March of every year you need to pay that, or they'll take it out of your commissions. Sometimes it's split up over the entire, so you'll pay like $50 a month or something to your brokers for the entire year. It just depends. Those are all things, but usually you will have an errors and omissions fee built into your monthly costs or into your yearly costs. Like I said, sometimes these monthly fees from a brokerage or a franchise fee does cover a lot of these. So just want to let you know that there are sometimes some carrying costs. And what's all this mean? Again, there wasn't a ton of money there I was throwing around, right? The hardest part of real estate is not getting your license and paying for a couple $1,000. You can borrow that hopefully from a relative or something to get your license. It's getting the consumer to actually pick you over all these other realtors that have been doing it for 20, 30 years or whatever, right? You have to be known, liked, and trusted with possibly their biggest financial decision they'll ever make in their entire lives, right? So that's where the hardest part of real estate is. It's not getting a license. It's getting people to actually use you for business. It's like starting a mom and pop's restaurant, right? How do you get people to come to you that want to use you and eat you when there's franchises and stuff? Okay. So the licensure, getting your license is usually less than $1,000 to get started. You know, you have your schooling, your testing and stuff, but it's not a lot, about $1,000. Then once you actually get your license, you can expect to pay around $3,000 a year. I put that a little high, and what I average that is I put the E&O, it's maybe more for 25. I put the E&O insurance. I put your board dues that are in there, and then I also put any monthly fees, your $50 a month, which adds up to $600 a year, and your $15. So I put a couple things on there. There are some lead gen. I don't know why I did this. There are some lead gen things you can pay for. And so again, you're about $3,000 a year or less is where you're at. So again, that's really cheap to be a business owner, right? There are signs sometimes you have to pay for. There are out-of-pocket expenses, but do know that every penny that you're spending, marketing, lead generation, anything like that, you're spending signs, all that kind of stuff is an investment in your business. And these are all write-offs at the end of the year because you are a business owner now. So at the end of the year, these expenses that you're spending on your E&O insurance, all this stuff, they're actually write-offs for you as a business. That's a whole nother class there. But I wanted to talk to you today about just getting your license. We're a test prep site. We love making people get to that next level and pass their actual real estate license. But I want to discuss actual cost and real life example of what it costs to be a. So it is a very lucrative career. But again, the hardest part of it is not the testing and not the money. It's actually getting people to send their business. All right, guys, again, this has been part of tryapexagent.com. I will put a discount code for the CE shop into the comments, as well as tryapexagent.com on there. Again, we love it. At the end of the day, we want you to be a successful business owner. Let me know if I can help.